Hey, it's Jason Hartman, and I'm here at our collective mastermind. This is our very first event in Scottsdale, Arizona. And since we are friends on social media, YouTube, Facebook, I thought I'd give you a little sneak peek. Now, this is a pretty elite group. They pay a ton of money to join the group, but here's a little sneak peek. We just had Carrie Lake, the candidate for governor of Arizona, speak. Of course, she was a very famous media personality who left her job, resigned on the air because the media was so corrupt, decided to run for governor of Arizona, and it looks like she may well be the next governor of Arizona. And we've got Mark Victor Hansen, author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, co-author with Jack Canfield. And we've got a whole bunch of great speakers this weekend. Robert Kiyosaki, we're having lunch at his home tomorrow. We have Chris Martenson, of course, Ken McElroy, George Gammon, and myself. We're the creators of the collective. And it's just a great group. We're kicking off the meeting really nicely. We're going to go race car driving this afternoon. We've got a fashion show tonight, a big fashion show. It's quite a big deal. And we had a great time yesterday meeting at Ken McElroy's office, learning all about how he scaled up his business to own approximately 8,000 units, 8,000 doors in the real estate world, 8,000 apartments. And we heard from his staff, his executives. They talked about all the stuff they did to scale and grow that business. And it's just an awesome weekend. I just thought I'd share it with you a little bit. So I'll give you a little taste of the collective mastermind. You can kind of sneak in for free. Don't tell anybody. Here we go. I'm coming in the door here. So, shh.
Because we think it's critical to your future. Because here's the deal. Here's what God didn't tell us when we were born. How do you discover your destiny? Touch yourself, say, I was born with a destiny. Everyone? Touch yourself one more time and say, my job is to find it. Now here, when we travel around, here's what everyone tells us. Well, you don't understand, I'm an engineer, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer.
And that's Robert Kiyosaki right over there.
I'm a dental hygienist. That's what you do, that's not who you are. I'm holding up to me, by the way, if I'm too bold, Ken, tell me, but Ken said, look, you want to talk to these people about being significant. I want all of you to manifest your greatness. The stories I write are stories, I'll finish with a story in a second here about one of the guys that is great, but here's what happens when you ask, you get illumination. Everyone say illumination. You get solutions. Now, they may not be instant, but you cannot ask a question without getting the answer. So you've got to be careful to do positive, not negative questions. I'm upside down. I say, oh my God, what if I go bankrupt? I go to the biggest library in the world, New York Library, and check out a book, How to Go Bankrupt by Yourself. Talk about dumb ass square. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Well, you ain't rich. Everybody in here is rich. So that's I'm being a little bit silly, but I want to make sure I'm a little confrontive so you catch on what I'm going to teach next. You're going to have insight. You're going to have breakthroughs. You're going to have the plan. You're going to have the understanding. Here, we discovered the second chapter in the book. It's all about 7 roadblocks. All of us got some of them some of the time. Some of us got all of us all the time. And COVID's got a lot of people getting in all 7 roadblocks. And that's why we have the highest suicide rate ever in America, which is not okay. We've done over 400 podcasts since this book came out because you can't get on TV unless you're a politician going positive or negative. And so we've done the greatest, biggest podcast, 7 million views, 10 million views, 40 million, with everybody and love it, including Ken. Ken's been very kind to us. So we love it. But what I'm telling you is that 3 of the biggest psychiatrists in the world are our friends. Dear, great friends. And there's not a day they say they don't get little kids call them and say, hey, I'm going to kill myself. Dr. Daniel Amen, our neighbor. You see him on TV, on PBS. Mark Goulson. Fred Moss, who we just had breakfast with a couple days ago in Pismo Beach. No kid should want to commit suicide because they're locked down and don't have any friends and don't have a social life and don't feel worthy. They're naive. They don't know that they can do what Ike taught me was God is all things are possible, but if God in you all things are possible, then you've got to understand that you're George Gammon inside out. That's why my house
right over there.
mental ability has many dimensions, and you got to know about it. You got to ask yourself, how far can I go with this? That's why Crystal and I love writing this book. That's why we're getting stacks of letters every day from people saying, wow, I didn't know that I could transform just with one simple ASK to GED what I want. And we had a guy come to one of my seminars long ago, before Chicken Soup was manifested, everybody was turning us down. I had the manuscript, and I'm at a giant church out in Kansas City, 5,000 people, and I said, look, Jack and I read this. Everybody's turned us down, but I'd like all of you to pray with me and see that this is going to be a #1 bestseller. We'll sell at least 1 million books, and they all clapped and applauded, and they thought, wow, what a bold guy. Like what Gina said yesterday, you got to have a beehive, which is from Harvard. Jack created it when he was at Harvard, a big, hairy, audacious goal. So we had it. And I said, by the way, I got a little order form here, and I don't want you not to tithe. I want you to just buy $20. The book's going to be $13.95, we think. But right now, give me your credit card, and I'll take it. All the people gave their credit card to me and the book. And Charlie wrote us and said, I couldn't believe it. This guy had the guts. It's a rich audience. It's a big, fat, rich church. And they're wonderful people. But I sold it before it would exist. Why? It existed in my mind. I didn't take the money and stuff.
All right, so that maybe wasn't the most exciting part of his speech. he was really getting people excited earlier, but I just wanted to give you a little taste of it, and maybe we'll do that a little bit more this weekend. We're here at the beautiful Monte Lucia in Scottsdale. Gorgeous, gorgeous resort. Possibly the best resort in Scottsdale. I don't know. We got some pretty great resorts here, and we are just getting set up for the next part of the event. So that's it. Anyway, over and out. Have a good day, everybody.